Buckle up, it's the Insurance Dudes Podcast.
Boom!
Boom.
Boom. Oh, look at that. Martin's
Strike
ready
first.
to fight.
All Valley Karate Championship.
Whoever is not watching this is missing out.
Yeah. Are you going to sweep the leg or are you going to do the crane?
I'm sweeping the leg, bro. Come on, man.
I know the
dark
crane
side.
is a weak move. So Martin has on a Cobra Kai shirt, and the background is the legendary Battle of Johnny and Daniel. Daniel's son. Is it
Yeah.
son or son?
Son, I don't know. Son. That's son.
Did you? I know Mr. Martin Amador from Colorado. You have been on before, but it was a unique episode in that the power went out and it just ended. So this is part D, where we want to really dive a little bit deeper because we just were touching the surface there, huh?
And Martin's been in our Elite Dudes group, and he's dropped some bomb content. Boom, blowing up that Elite group with some awesome,
bomb.
yeah,
Bomb
some awesome
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I love the Elite group. I think it may be the best part of the week.
It is the best part.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
So if likely I know that there's some super dudes and super dudettes out there that probably wrote down and know the trivia of what your favorite or what your first concert was, but just for fun, why don't you tell the rest of the listeners that have come on?
Yeah. I don't think I should. Maybe it was something else before. I'm not sure. But anyways. But no. Actually, it was first concert. So I didn't really like rock at all growing up. So I wasn't really Bon Jovi, Metallica. I never really liked them. But the one rock band that really got me into it was Rage Against the Machine. So
Nice.
so I actually went with a buddy to the first Coachella
Oh, wow.
in 99. Yeah, so that was amazing. So that we had I think we watched Tool also there. So it was great. It was great. So it was a great festival. It was hot. It was hot out there in Indio, man. It's like
Yeah, always is.
Yeah, I'm sure there's
hot.
like a big city there now, but it was nothing. So
Did you get lost in the desert for like 2 months and just traveling nomad?
pretty much, yeah. I think everybody was just having a good time out there,
Sure.
So.
Yeah. Well, so for the folks who don't remember from the copious note taking that they had from the last episode, in their workbook, their Insurance Dudes workbook available. I don't know if there is one.
At
Why don't you
Sears.
at Sears.
Order that at Sears.
Get it at Sears. Where did you start? How did you get into this?
Yeah. So, man, I've only been doing this about 3 years, but you don't have to have a degree to sell insurance. That's for sure, right?
Right.
So, but no, it's I've always managed people, since I was very young. Just kind of coaching them, managing them. And I ended up in insurance about 3 years ago from a referral from a buddy. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. It's not sexy, right? Insurance is not sexy at all. So, but
What were you doing before?
man, I worked for a corporate. I was AT&T DirecTV for about 10 to 15 years. So
That's right.
yeah. So call centers and stuff like that. So, but yeah, no, it's definitely. I mean, you guys know, right? It's people management, man. People management 101, right? And and making it fun, making it sexy, right? So that's kind of our mission, right? To make it fun and be successful, So
Awesome.
That's cool, man. And then so since then, what's so interesting? So we were talking about how you've dropped some bombs in the group. I mean, you're really into marketing.
Yeah. So, it's something I really I love technology, right? So I'm always kind of looking for the next thing, So, yeah, so I'm always kind of looking for different ways to communicate, different ways to, to learn, and being dropped into a brand new agency, not knowing what the heck I was doing. I had to figure that out pretty fast. So it was sink or swim. So I joined all the groups, talked to all the people, did all my types of marketing, did my own marketing, and things like that. But no, I'm still learning, right? So it's still a journey when it comes to marketing.
I think anybody that does it, I mean, I don't think it's a static thing. I think anybody that does it well is into it, and they're constantly trying stuff. There's like an R&D side of it. There's a nerdy side of it, because I love it too. And it's like, yeah, I'll crack out at night, like just like searching stuff and like figuring out stuff, linking stuff together.
Yeah, the rabbit holes. The rabbit holes of marketing.
Totally. Yeah, I know you can definitely, it takes a lot of time. I think, I was probably doing marketing 80% of my day, probably, at the very beginning, trying to figure it out, but I mean, it's a good thing, right? I mean, I know a lot of people, they rely on different lead vendors and stuff like that. And I think it's okay to do that, right? To supplement, but to know like what's all going behind the scenes and stuff like that, and how they're actually generating leads for you. It's like, man, I can do that, but hey, do I really want to do that? Because it's going to take my whole day, right?
Sure.
So
we were just talking about that, Jason and I, yesterday. We were working on some stuff for the Teledudes, and it came up. We're always working on these different marketing things and different pieces, but it's so funny because you'll start working on one thing, and then you realize, oh, I have to do this other step. So you're on step one, but then you go over here to fix the one thing so that you can get to step two, but it's like takes all day, right, to do that thing. And then you're like, what the hell was I even doing? And then at the end, it's like you wind back and now you're right back at step one. Now you can go to step two. And then it just like the whole time, it's like, oh, I'm going to make an ad. And then the pixel, you're like, and then you got to do this whole thing. Right. And it's amazing.
Yep. And you need this program, and you need that for this app, and you need that, and you need this, and I'm like, what? I don't even know my login.
Right. Yeah. I think that's how we end up with so many logins and so many different things. Right.
It's so true. It's so true. Yeah. So, but I think the biggest thing that I've kind of learned is that obviously you have to have many lead sources. You can't depend on one, right? You cannot. So, because it will dry up and you move on. Doesn't mean that you're never going to do it again. It just means that, hey, I'm going to take a break from it, right? But the one thing that I would, no matter even if you're independent or a captive agent, I'm like branding your own name and your own agency is key. Is key in this age. I mean, with gone are the days where you're paying for a billboard, or you're paying for a bus stop sign or whatever, right? I mean, people are on digital, right? So all forms of digital, right? Being able to use that and leverage that to get your name out, right? To get your name out and not shove insurance down their throat, right? It's just like, I think we were talking about it a couple weeks back about people posting on social, hey, buy, let me quote you, or whatever they put on there,
right? I just saved somebody $200. It's like, nobody is calling you when you
right.
Nobody's calling you.
Right. I mean, your mom may like it, right? Your mom may like the post.
One like mom.
She may share it. But no, it's so true, right? But I mean, I think that's my approach, right? When it comes to branding, I'm like, I'm not necessarily saying, hey, I want you to know who I am, right? I want you to know who I am. I want you to know who my staff is. I want you to know that I like Karate Kid and Cobra Kai, right? And it's just like, like even some of the social content, right? Who cares if you fumble up words and it's, it's nothing, it's just, dude, just be yourself, right? That's why people are going to buy from you. That's why people are going to stay from you.
It's almost better. It's better to not be perfect. It's so weird. So in marketing in general, the days of polished stuff being better, being more legitimate than unpolished are completely over. Because you can have a video that is just slamming, like by a director, you had the whole team out there, right? people aren't going to click on it because it looks like a BS ad. Where if you have your phone and it's all jumbly and you dropped it and then you pick it back up, like somebody will watch that. And it's like, dude, you just did that with your phone. And like this other one costs $1,000 or $10,000. I don't know what people are paying, but it's like, as far as marketing goes, it's what you used to, because I think the deal was back in the day is that, okay, they must be a good company if they can afford to make this video. And now there's a different perception of, if they made this polished video, they must be sleazy and they're going to take my money and not provide value. Like for some reason, like something real, like they, it was like that time when, reality TV became more real than the old soap operas or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think in the old days it legitimized your status, and there weren't so many different distribution methods, right? But now it's everywhere, and so everybody is up in everybody's business now, right? Everybody knows what you're doing. So if you're doing this, $100,000 production, they're like, who is this guy over here, right? They're like, Jason doesn't do that. He doesn't put a suit on. What the hell is this, right? They're like, fake news over here, So they just want you to be authentic, right? And you make the jokes, you say the stuff. You don't say, I saved somebody $500, because they don't care. Like they're not going to stop as they're scrolling their feed, right? Going through, and they're like mindlessly going through their feed and go, oh! Right? No, they're looking at pictures of cats and clowns with memes on them, right? So that's what you deliver. There's a guy, do you follow Tyler Raymer? He's an agent. He's an independent, and he does memes. Like, he makes memes. That's all he does. And he's freaking hilarious. Like, he makes really good ones, or he gets them from somewhere, but he posts that. And that's the idea, right? You want to be in front of them. Branding isn't an instant result. Branding is, when Martin gets pissed and needs insurance, he's going to think of me because I'm funny and I like to golf or whatever, right? And then they're going to connect. That's what you do. You build the audience that way. It's the approach.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny story is that the like how TikTok is so big now, right? So the Travis Scott burger, I'm like, sure you all heard about it, right? So the Travis Scott burger. Mm-hmm. So I've been to McDonald's 2 times since that came out, with my kids, of course, right? But yeah, so we've been to McDonald's 2 times. So it's just a quarter pounder with cheese with some barbecue sauce. That's it.
Really?
So that's all it is, and a Sprite and some barbecue sauce. That's all it is. But I'm just saying is that, these silly things like this, right? That you just get into people's, face, they're gonna remember, right? They're gonna remember. So whether if it's a stupid TikTok video or whether it's, whatever it is, right? Just kind of, being yourself and showing them what you offer, or showing them who you are. It's like they're gonna remember that, right? So that's the key. So that's really kind of like how for me, like how I'm focused on branding my agency. So that's been fun.
2 things I want to say about that. One is, I'm so sick of everybody being so health conscious that I'm so glad that you went to McDonald's and had a burger.
Yeah. See, so if everybody could hate insurance too, right? So hate insurance, but they'll see a funny video and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna call this guy because I thought he was pretty funny," right?
So they're buying it. They're gonna buy it.
Yeah, right? They're gonna buy
it. That's so funny. And you do a ton of. I've noticed that you just do a ton of videos. And I know that you get a lot of responses from them. And you hear about, oh, this social media channel is dead, or this is dead.
Which one's dead?
Well, whatever, it doesn't matter. They're all, here and there, right? It's trends or whatever. But like, your stuff isn't dead because you're doing pattern and interrupt type stuff where it's like, oh, you come on my feed, and it's like, oh, I gotta watch the video. And I'm like, that's funny.
Yeah. No, I mean, obviously, it's just, it's just, try to be consistent, get some type of pattern, but just like, I've tried to mirror stuff off of TikTok and stuff too, right? So different things. But yeah, no, I mean, it's just posting regularly and, going for engagement. I think when people think of posting on social, they think they want to get something out of it, right? Like, what do you want to get out of it, right? Oh, here's a lead form, right, to fill that out. I mean, nobody's going to click on that lead form for that, right? Just put your face out there, those things like that. Maybe do a giveaway here and there. I mean, it's just to stay, involved in the area and local presence and stuff. So yeah, but no, I mean that's your local presence now, right? So
Yeah.
your local presence, your involvement in the community, those type of things like that is going to be on all types of social. So
I think you nailed it though when you said you're not, the stuff that you're posting is never asking for them to fill out a form or like them to do something. You're just giving them some content and leaving it at that, which you're giving them something that engages. Like I noticed that you get a lot of engages on your posts.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a great thing to think about, especially, in this day and age where there's billions of things on your feeds. I mean, we have tons of, to your point, there's TikTok now and there's all kinds of stuff. So it's like, if you're asking for something, it's like, dude, I don't want to deal with this guy.
Yeah, no. They know you're an expert in your field, right? They know you are. So it's like, I mean, I've gotten calls from friends, relatives, like, hey, I have a question. I have an insurance question. I'm like, yeah, well, let's sit down, we can talk. Those type of things like that. That's what you want, right? I mean, that's what you want. So that's what makes it fun, and it makes it more enjoyable when you're able to do those things like that, so instead of calling the guy you get from a lead aggregator that that doesn't want insurance and it's complaining about everything, right? So
well, you got to call that guy 60 times. That's
60 times. That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
But so I'm hearing from that post consistently, right? Like you have to be consistent. You can't just post one time this week and then go, this shit doesn't work, right? Social media doesn't work. But so you can't do that, or you have to be consistent and then relevant, right? You want to pick something that's trending. So you do the Travis Scott thing because it's something that's relevant right now, right? Or you bring that into the equation because it's something that's relevant.
Yeah. Just be funny. Just bring something relevant and, in the area and the community and the weather, whatever it is, just be silly, dude. Right. I mean, just be silly, but have some type of value that you're giving them, right? Like, oh, I didn't know that. Right. Like I didn't know about, ride for hire type of stuff, or I didn't know about, a deductible or whatever it is. If they take one little thing from it, it's a less than a 30 to 50-second video, right? I mean, that they just listen to, so yeah, I mean, if they can get something from that, I'm like, you're reaching more people too, right? And sharing with them, giving them something of value, so, but yeah, no, it's really good, I think. Yeah.
What about,
you go, Craig.
What about Google? So I know Google. The Google. Have you heard of number one? Have you heard of the Google?
The Google. Yeah, I heard the Google. I heard of the
so
Google.
Number two, have you heard of the Google My Business?
Google My Business. Yep. GMB is.
And I know you have because you've talked. Yeah, GMB. You've talked about it a lot in the elite group, and it's awesome because it really is a poor man's way to create some traffic, right? Like you don't have to really spend any money at all, and you can actually get some results. Why don't you talk about that? Because I really appreciated the stuff that you told me.
Yeah, no, it's I started looking at it, and you started seeing all the different the analytics, and it's really easy, really simple too, right? The platform, it's not very difficult, but I mean that's where people are finding us, right? That's where when people look for insurance, they're going to Google, right? They're Google, that's where they're finding us. So so just making that, treating that like as you would a social media platform, posting, going through there, making sure your reviews, updating your reviews, doing those things like that. I mean, it's been huge, and I mean, you can see the volume, right? And it's just been able to help and give a better look for the agency, right? For people just kind of searching on there. So
Yeah. Do you build a page out on there too?
no. I link my own website on there, so you can.
To be continued.
It's the insurance dudes. Don't turn it off, man, that'd really be rude. We're dropping knowledge on the radio, so just turn it up.
So we put together a little webinar from all the things that we've learned, right?
Yeah, totally. I love it. It was a lot of fun doing it, putting it together, and there's some really good stuff in there.
Yes.
What did we learn?
So what did we learned how to sell hundreds of thousands of premium a month using any internet leads, and this is based on a whole bunch of big dudes selling ton of premium a month, like over $1 million.
Yeah, and it eliminates that turnover, right? The staff doesn't get burned out.
It does. It creates predictable sales. Like, whoa, right?
Well, and we also learned how we can copy the processes of the big, giant, fastest growing P&C carriers and the big local agents.
Yep.
That was a lot of fun.
So it was fun. We put it together. It's on a website. Go to love.teledudes.com. That's love.teledudes.com.
How do you spell like that on the fly, Mr. Jason?
Well, it took me some practice, but it's love.teledudes.com.
You are good at that. So let me get this straight. It's love, L-O-V-E .teledudes.com.
Love.teledudes.com. Ooh.
I love that.
I love it too. I surprised you too, Mr. Craig. You didn't know.
Tricked me.
Wait, do they even listen to this on the radio anymore?
I love it. I love it.
Nice.
All right.